Hi guys, I'm back again today with tip number 7, which is to deal with conflict. Now, the inspiration for tip number 7 today came from our very own classroom. When I walk in to start the school day, I find one child missing and they are locked in the bathroom. So I walk up to the bathroom door and knock, and when I realize that it's locked, and say, when do you think you might be coming out? I want to start school. And the reply back to me is, never. Okay, so we're going to start the day with a little conflict here, of course, on a Friday. But luckily, I had the frame of mind this morning to remember that I have a tool in my toolbox when these things happen, and I've been using this for about 2 or 3 years to deal with conflicts in the classroom. Because let's face it, when you're in a classroom with your kids, you can't just walk away and come back and pretend like nothing happens if you want to get any school done. And you can't push through in school because it will be worthless. They will learn nothing because they're so angry or upset. So you have to deal with it. So I'm going to share with you the tool I've been using, and I really hope it'll help you guys out. I call it SOFT, and I love that it spells out soft because I think this world is hard enough that I want to be a soft place for my kids to land when the world is hard and when life is hard. And soft starts with stopping the cycle. So when you're in a conflict, usually it's going around and around, ramping up, building up, getting worse until somebody says something that they're going to regret later. And the key is to stop it as soon as you see the cycle starting. And it might be you stopping it between two siblings, or it might be you stopping it in yourself because you realize that you have put the mama hammer down, or you're just going to do it because I said so, and we are running late, and we got to get this done. I've done all those things. They do not help us move forward in the class. They do not help us get things done quicker. It makes things worse, and it's just not even worth it. So first thing is to be in the presence of mind to just stop. Now, a lot of the time, separation is necessary to do the next part. You just need to cool down a little bit, myself included. Sometimes have to separate so that we can do the O in SOFT, which is to own your part. Now, conflict keeps going when you ruminate and think over and over again about the other person and what they did wrong. Now, granted, the other person probably did do something wrong, but you cannot control that. My kids will tell you, I tell them that all the time. You cannot control somebody else. Your job is to own your part. So after we're separated for a while, we come back together and we're ready to offer forgiveness and to ask forgiveness. Now, I put forgiveness first because I've heard it said that unforgiveness is like drinking poison and expecting somebody else to die. And that is what it's like. The other person may never ask for your forgiveness. That's just the reality of life. Someone may have wronged you and they are never going to ask forgiveness. But it only hurts you to ruminate on that other person and what they're doing. So forgive that other person in your heart before they ask. And then if you have a part to own, which like I said, most of the time I do, or they do, we have a part in this conflict, then you ask forgiveness for that. And when I have my kids apologize, it can't just be a sorry. No, you have to say specifically, what are you sorry for? And we will walk through how this conflict this morning ended up getting resolved using SOFT. And then the final step is tricky for little kids, but sometimes I'm surprised by them, and it's to tell the why. But this is something as an adult that you can really practice. This is just kind of another level of mindfulness that maybe you didn't yell at said kid because of their behavior. Maybe it's because of something that happened earlier that was really frustrating for you. Or maybe you're in a hurry and you're trying to get out the door. The why sometimes helps just to create empathy and understanding, which also builds relationship. And sometimes it can be even deeper than that. That like when you say that makes me feel stupid. Okay, I'm so sorry. I really don't mean to make you feel stupid. That is not my intention in what we do. So this can be a very healthy step also if the parties involved are mindful enough to be able to practice it. So, but definitely a goal. All right, so to get back to our conflict this morning. So I luckily was in a mode of being able to stop this morning and realized that we're kind of already stopped because he's locked in a bathroom. So I let them stay in there, and I just informed him, well, you know what the next step in this is. When you are ready to own your part, I am ready to forgive you for it. And I will think about what my part is too in the meantime. But we're going to get started. And luckily, like we talked about yesterday, we were starting our day with intention, which is good because we were talking about character and world values, and we were praying, and all of this can be heard through the door. So I wasn't too worried about him missing anything. But I did decide in my head, if he's not out by the end of this part of our day, I really need him to come out for the next part of our day. So I'm going to ask him again if he's ready. Well, I didn't have to do that. Open comes the door, and said child walks out and says, I'm really sorry for yelling at everybody. Wonderful. We forgive you. I'm really sorry. I was frustrated this morning because I went to the grocery store, and that's all it takes nowadays to be really frustrated. And so I was probably a little short with you this morning. And you know what? We moved on, and it was so great, and the rest of the day was good, and we were able to accomplish our schoolwork, and we didn't really lose any time. And I will say, too, that it was all four of us involved in the conflict. So the other two children also had parts to own, and forgiveness was given all around. And we were able to move on and have a really great day in the classroom. But just one last thing before I finish this point. Later in the day, said child who locked themselves in the bathroom came downstairs, and, our one dog goes outside and gets soaking wet, and it's such a pain. You have to towel her off and then brush her. And, this child was like, hey, do you want me to do it? I can't remember him ever offering to do it. But I know that it comes from a place of being grateful that forgiveness was extended when he was truly sorry for what he did. So, forgiveness is a powerful, powerful thing, and the grace that comes with that will then produce gratitude, and that gratitude then produces better behavior. So I know conflict is no fun. I know a lot of times we don't have time for this, but I just want to tell you that when you practice soft in the midst of conflict, you can rescue a day from going down the drain. So guys, sorry, I went a little long today, but I really hope this helps, and I will see you soon. Bye.